I seen an even funnier one yesterday saying he wants to make me piss me pants. That one made me laugh because he done it into someone in his first ever fight, but that's our job, you know what I mean? But we're in here to hurt each other, you know what I mean? We're not having a pillow fight, we're having a fight, and I know I'm gonna hurt him, and I know I am. So if he wants to try and hurt me, he can. That's what we're here for. That's the name of the game. He won't be physically the same after this fight. I will. I'll be exactly the same. I'm gonna put a beat down on him like he's never received, and I can promise you that. But it was just another fight to me. When a contract with a name on gets sent to me, I sign it. I don't turn down no fight. I step up and I fight the person whose name's on the contract. I thought I was going to fight Justin in October in Abu Dhabi, but I think he turned it down. And then now there's a belt on the line. He's taking the fight. So it's nice to actually fight someone that I thought I was going to fight a while back.
And Paddy has said from day one of coming into the UFC, Scousers can't get knocked out. How much are you looking forward to proving that wrong?
Yeah, you don't have to be a doctor to know that if you have a brain, you can get shut off if I just shake it. And so I'll show him, you know, if I could shake his head and make his brain touch his skull, he's going to go to sleep.
We've known each other for a long time, so on a personal level, Paddy's a great guy, and it's great to see like good people doing good stuff. But from like a UK MMA point of view, like for such a small place, can have 4 champions. It's absolutely unbelievable. Well, it's a dangerous fight for Paddy, but I think it's winnable. It's definitely winnable, and I think Paddy's going.
Normally this stage here I've got a lot of nice puppy fat on me and I'm not as cold at the minute. I'm absolutely freezing constantly, low on calories compared to normally at this time of year. Big Tommy, heavyweight champion UFC, is coming to see us today. We popped down to his gym a few months ago, didn't we? And went to see him. I've done a little session with him and I had to scram with him after because didn't have no fight coming up. We won't be going for no scram today. I'm sick on diet, lad, hard on diet, and I don't think he can train because of his eye, lad. I'm gonna have to see what his eye's like, lad. I'm fucking intrigued, especially after everyone giving him so much shit. Obviously he's got a bad injury in his eye. It just shows how fickle the MMA fan base is.
Beautiful, Jim.
Old, but he's not washed. Like he's 37, but he's not moving like Michael Chandler. He's not holding the ball on the shoulder, doing the fucking PG-13 fucking washed animation. He's not washed. He's not washed, bruv. You know what I mean? He has not shown this crazy drop off in his skill set. He's 4-1 in his last 5. If we're talking about the guys that he's fought. He has great striking, obviously better than Paddy Pimblett in the boxing. You know, very, very powerful calf kicks. I think those are going to come into play in this matchup. He's got big power in the hands. He's improved his boxing fundamentals and his footwork under Trevor Whitman. His defense has gotten a little bit better. And I would say in terms of him and Paddy, he's probably equal or more powerful on the feet in terms of punch power. He does have solid takedown defense. Like the weakness is the grappling, right? But we have seen him show a decent ability to be taken down and push off the initial takedown and get back up against guys like Michael Chandler.
So Tom Aspinall showed up at the gym to check in on Paddy. And you could see exactly where Paddy's mindset is right now. He looks sharp, clearly deep in his training camp, completely locked in with this Justin fight approaching. They got into talking about how Paddy specifically asked for this matchup and just how committed he is to making it happen.
Oh yeah, last time I seen you, lad, fucking now. Funniest when I come to your gym, lad, when I come to yours, I've been out the night before, lad, to watch Springsteen, lad, and got in at about 4:30 in the morning.
You know that mural, lad, you spoke about it, yeah. She was a massive outcry in the town. Gotta get it down.
Take it down. Still going though, it's going strong, isn't it? It's been a bit of a long process because with eyes, like with other injuries, they just fix them straight away. With eyes, they try and let them, because it's obviously risky, try and let them heal naturally. So we're getting surgery on this eye, keeping me out for a little bit. Not sure how long just yet though, so got a meeting about it soon. So it's just been a slow process, been a nightmare to be honest.
Mate, 3 times they did it in 1 round.
I know.
I think the point of the thing should be sacked off. Just if you do twice in a round, then I get to do 1 back. I reckon that makes it. Mate, they're the best one. Why is it? That's fair though, isn't it? First one's an accident, second one you're doing it on purpose, aren't you?
I train with little gloves on anyway, as you've just seen.
Tom didn't sugarcoat anything when they discussed what's coming up and went out of his way to back his friend. Tom was straight up about it being somewhat risky, but absolutely something Paddy can pull off. From the perspective of UK MMA, they both saw this as an opportunity that means way more than just another win. You could tell Paddy was fired up knowing someone like Tom had complete faith in what he's building.
We've known each other for a long time, so on a personal level, Paddy's a great guy, and it's great to see like good people doing good stuff. But from like a UK MMA point of view, like for such a small place, can have 4 champions. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's a dangerous fight for Paddy, but I think it's winnable. It's definitely winnable, and I think Paddy's going.
Both Paddy and Tom brought up Arman, and it was obvious right away they weren't buying into the buzz around him. What really caught Paddy's attention was how Arman moves through the division. According to Paddy's breakdown, Arman avoids the hard path to get where he wants to go and likes to wait for things to line up perfectly before making his move. That means pulling out of fights and turning down difficult matchups, then jumping on something that works better for him. Paddy gave credit where it's due though, saying Arman can definitely wrestle, but he was quick to point out that wrestling and actually controlling someone on the ground are 2 completely different skills. Paddy doesn't see this as a fight where Arman will have any real advantages. He's convinced that if this turns into a real battle for position, he can completely dominate Arman. Paddy sees this matchup as tough for Arman, but perfectly set up for himself to take control.
What about Arman Sarukian? He's just one of them, lad. He thinks because his family have got money and he's been had everything handed to a plate on him for years. Oh, it'll just happen in the UFC. Lad, you're being told that he fucking pulled out of that Islam fight with a bad back, when really he just couldn't make weight. He got offered to fight Gamrot and said no, and then took the most favourable matchup, Oscar Dan Upper, who can't grapple, to save his man's life. Bad at shit, and he nearly guillotined him. It just shows how bad Arman's grappling is to me.
Oh yeah, he did.
I was watching that thinking, wow, if I get you in a guillotine, you are going unconscious. And he headbutted him at the weigh-in. If he would have cut him there on his forehead, lad, he was getting cut defo. So why would you headbutt someone at the weigh-in, lad?
I do think his grappling's good though, Arman.
His grappling is good, he's got good wrestling. But that's his main thing, is wrestling. And he wouldn't be able to hold me down.
Tim Welch's breakdown focused heavily on why this could go bad for Paddy if it turns into a prolonged striking battle. He zeroed in on Paddy's tendencies and how he moves, particularly that high chin when he presses forward and how exposed he gets during wild exchanges. Tim kept hammering home Justin's left hook and those calf kicks as the biggest dangers, claiming those tools are perfectly designed to exploit Paddy's approach.
In my opinion right now, the way for Justin Gaethje to win is going to be his left hook, his cracking left hook, the way obviously Paddy Pimblett floats his chin a little bit. So let's take a peek here, see if anything sticks out. This is Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett, and this went down April 12th of 2025. And Paddy finally looks like a real lightweight. He looks stacked. He's got big legs, he's got big calves. He's obviously a great grappler. So let's see here. See if he makes some mistakes. Michael Chandler's pretty short. He's not a giant guy. He seems pretty small for 155, but dense and explosive. Okay, here we go. 349 round 1. Michael Chandler starts putting the pressure on him, getting back to the fence. He whiffs on a kick, and gets taken down here. Let's take a peek at that again. He goes low kick, and Michael Chandler goes to catch it, swings through, gets an easy finish behind his back. Big mat return by Michael Chandler, explosive. But we've seen Paddy Pimblett. We've seen it in his vlogs. He's very good.
But Tim definitely didn't write Paddy off completely. His analysis flipped once things move to the canvas or get chaotic. He emphasized that Paddy's ground game creates serious problems for Justin and that any extended grappling clearly benefits Paddy. Tim highlighted how Paddy thrives under pressure, whether he's working back to his feet or hunting for submissions, constantly creating movement until something opens up.
Fight could look similar to this if it hits the mat. Paddy's going to have a big jiu-jitsu advantage. I know at their gym they do a lot of jiu-jitsu. He's very sharp on the ground. And again, when you're a wrestler and you get put on your back and you're not used to getting put on your back, your only way up is give up the back.
Khalil Roundtree was mostly breaking down Justin's advantages and explaining his confidence in a Justin victory. He went deep on Justin's striking precision, that sharp jab, devastating leg kicks, and his discipline in managing range. Khalil believes Justin's fight IQ and ability to adapt mid-fight make him exactly the type of fighter who can solve Paddy's wild style. In his view, Justin possesses the skills to stay out of submission danger, while punishing Paddy whenever he gets reckless or creates openings.
Oh man, you know the thing. I think Paddy is it's so weird because he's been around for a long time, and he's still slept on for some reason. Like people still kind of doubt. It's weird. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's like, I don't know, the look, whatever. But he's skilled, and every time he comes in and he shows progression. I think with Gaethje, people know that he's a banger. He's got heart. But I think another thing that people kind of sleep on too is how technical Gaethje is, especially you know, working with his coach. Like those guys they're always mathematicians. You know what I mean? So I think in this
shout
one,
out Trevor Whitman.
Yeah, shout out Trevor Whitman. But I think I'm going Gaethje in this.
Demetrius Johnson took a completely different angle on Paddy's capabilities. He talked about how fighters continue sleeping on Paddy despite his obvious improvements, especially his work along the fence and in scrambles. He emphasized Paddy's threat to finish any fight with submissions, and how once things hit the mat, or Paddy dictates the rhythm, he becomes extremely dangerous. Demetrius acknowledged Justin's toughness and technical skills, but he views Paddy's jiu-jitsu as a massive edge that could end the fight if he weathers the initial striking phases.
He probably excels more than Justin Gaethje is his dynamic. Like if you push him into cage, he's gonna do a flying triangle, right? We've seen Justin Gaethje get put to sleep by Habib. With that, I think the biggest thing is that if Justin Gaethje goes out there and pops that jab, like he always says, that pops that jab and throws a leg kick, then Paddy Pimblett's gonna have to make a decision. Is he gonna go in there and shoot a takedown, or is he gonna go in there and try to strike with him? I'm gonna go with Paddy on this one. I feel like Paddy's gonna get the submission. I think Paddy's gonna be able to submit him. But I could see Justin Gaethje, because Paddy Pimblett gets hit a lot, right? Like when he fought Gordon, he got hit a lot. So he could take a shot, but can he take a shot from Justin Gaethje? Now, Justin Gaethje's been in the game for a long time, been knocked out, been submitted. So we'll have to see, where the fight goes. But if I had to make a pick, I like Pimblett in this one. Paddy.
Now here's something worth adding. So Michael Bisping analyzed this matchup in a completely honest way without oversimplifying anything. He acknowledged that Justin remains a real threat because of his power, boxing skills and leg kicks, and when he can keep Paddy moving backward and create striking exchanges, that's Justin operating in his comfort zone. But Michael consistently returned to how Justin has dropped fights when he makes critical errors, especially in later rounds, and those mistakes typically result in submission losses.
Lightweight title of the world, Ilia Topuria has stepped away. Justin Gaethje is back in his third title fight. It's his second interim title fight, but it's his final fight if he doesn't win. Justin Gaethje said if he loses to Paddy Pimblett, he's going to walk away.
One more knockout. I went to sleep. Before that, I'd never been put to sleep. If I would get put to sleep again, I would definitely call it quits.
Justin Gaethje has had an incredible career. Of course, he's been the interim champion before, never the undisputed. He lost to Habib. He lost to Charles Oliveira, but he has electrified and thrilled audiences all over the world. 26 wins, 5 losses. 26 wins, 20 by way of knockout. And he's knocked out some legends. People like Dustin Poirier. Fight of the Nights with Dustin Poirier. Fight of the Nights with Michael Chandler. And stopped Tony Ferguson in a one-sided savage beatdown, okay? And that was one of the last times we saw Tony Ferguson being a real threat inside the octagon, because Justin Gaethje just beat it out of him with the accuracy, with power in his hands. He's got head kicks, he's got wild hooks, he's got beautiful uppercuts, he's got incredible wrestling, but he never uses it. And in this fight against Paddy Pimblett, he doesn't need to use it. He would be a fool to use it. You don't want to shoot in on Paddy Pimblett.
Michael favored Paddy in a 5-round scenario because of his unpredictability and patience. He explained how Paddy doesn't need to outbox Justin at all. He just needs one scramble, one sloppy exchange, or one instant where Justin overcommits. He brought up Justin's retirement talk if he loses, and how that creates mental pressure, regardless of Justin's motivation level. Michael thinks Paddy's movement patterns and composure under fire could eventually create an opportunity, particularly as the fight extends into championship rounds.
Dangerous matchup for Paddy Pimblett, but I also think it's one he can win. I think over 5 rounds, Justin Gaethje might make a mistake. He does have more experience, but he has maybe slowed down a bit. The fact that he says that this is going to be his last fight if he loses, that's never good to hear. I'm not saying that he's got one foot out the door, and I'm not saying that he's not motivated, because anytime you say, I'm not fighting again after this one if I lose, well then you make sure that you go the extra mile and leave no stone unturned, and you leave no excuses. You push yourself in training camp. So I think it's going to be the best version of Justin Gaethje, and that makes it even more dangerous for Paddy Pimblett. I do think, though, that over 5 rounds, given how dynamic Paddy Pimblett is, given how disciplined he is, given that Scousers don't get knocked out.
I'm a Scouser.
Bedtime MMA went back and forth extensively, but ultimately picked Justin to win. His reasoning centered on how the fight most likely unfolds. Standing up, he analyzed how Paddy's grappling becomes dangerous, especially if Justin ends up flat on his back, but he doesn't believe Paddy can consistently force those positions. Against someone like Justin who maintains composure, moves intelligently, and defends those transitions effectively, he thinks Paddy will have trouble getting the fight where he wants it.
Paddy, but like the thing with Justin Gaethje that's making me like, bro, I cannot pick Paddy to win this fight. This he's not Khabib, bro. He's not Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway. These are the guys that have beat Justin Gaethje. I don't think he is as quick or as sharp or as accurate or as powerful on the feet as Charles Oliveira or Max Holloway. I think he might have more straight up like punch power, but he's not on their level in terms of striking skill, speed, or defense either. Let me just say that, right? And as for his grappling, his jiu-jitsu is insane, but he doesn't have the wrestling of Khabib. He doesn't have the wrestling of a Charles Oliveira unless he hurts you, right? And I think his defense on the feet is so suspicious, bro. Like, just so cool. I'm just remembering the Jared Gordon fight, thinking about that shit. He keeps his hands low in exchanges. He's open to being countered in the boxing exchanges. And Justin Gaethje, this is one thing I said at the gym, and the boys didn't really get what I meant, but like, I think you guys understand.
His final predictions saw this becoming primarily a striking contest which benefits Justin. He broke down Justin's jab, calf kicks, left hook, and overall crispness compared to opponents Paddy has faced previously. He doesn't accept the narrative that Justin is finished, emphasizing that Justin continues performing at elite levels against top competition. That's why he called for Justin winning either on the scorecards or with a late finish after accumulating more striking damage. Bilal Muhammad leaned Justin's direction because of how things look when it remains upright. He focused on how frequently Paddy absorbs shots and how dangerous that becomes against someone who stays calm, patient, and precise with his boxing. He detailed Justin's jab, footwork, and leg kicks as weapons that can gradually break Paddy down without rushing into risky situations. He made it obvious that Paddy's clearest route is grappling, but he didn't think Paddy could force that scenario regularly. Bilal explained that Paddy needs chaos, scrambles, and early grappling exchanges to succeed, because standing and trading for extended periods plays directly into Justin's wheelhouse. He noted how Justin has handled pressure previously, and how maintaining patience like in previous fights makes this a difficult evening for Paddy. Beneil Dariush examined the betting lines from a realistic perspective, refusing to treat them like disrespect toward Justin. His take is this comes down to timing rather than pure skill. Justin is deeper into his career, and at lightweight that decline typically happens quickly. Paddy, meanwhile, continues progressing, still improving weaknesses, and nobody really knows his ceiling yet. Where Beneil showed concern about Justin was discussing stylistic matchups, not reputation. Justin's biggest victories came in fights that stayed vertical and became striking wars. When things move toward grappling heavy pressure, his results haven't been as impressive. Paddy brings exactly that kind of threat. And even if he's imperfect, he's willing to drag fights into those messy exchanges. This fight appears destined to be explosive, violent, and possibly finish before the final horn. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Are you backing Justin's veteran presence and power, or Paddy's slick skills and tactical approach?